Let's be real. Waking up and looking effortlessly put together, that's a scam. The beauty industry loves to sell us the idea that we need a 20-step routine, a whole new personality, and a small loan to look and feel amazing. But guess what? It's actually the micro habits, the small things you do every day or during your week that create the biggest glow up. After 18 years as a hairstylist, I have seen firsthand what actually works, the things my clients swear by, and the ones that have changed my own life. So today I'm sharing with you 10 tiny micro habits that will seriously level up your hair, beauty, and lifestyle without having to reinvent yourself. Let's get into it. The first micro habit is a complete game changer for the days you need to style your hair to perfection. It takes your hair from, your hair looks nice, to,
oh wow, your hair, you look amazing.
Thank you. I know. Relying on just one hair product to do everything is like expecting dry shampoo to replace an actual shower. It might help for the day, but it's not doing the full job. The same goes for your styling products. You don't need a whole army of them, but different products do serve different roles. When you combine the right ones, that is when the wow factor kicks in, kind of like your coffee order. A little mix of everything makes it just right. So depending on your hair type and desired look, you should layer 2 to 4 styling products when blow drying. You can mix and match these, and depending on your hair though, you probably need more than just one. If you are someone that has fine hair that is also frizzy, after you have applied your leave-in conditioner, you would want to pair together both a volume mousse and anti-frizz serum. The volume mousse will give you the appearance of thicker, fuller hair, and the anti-frizz serum is going to tackle your frizz to help keep it at bay. These together meet your hair's needs. If you are someone with more coarse hair that is really curly and has lots of frizz, after your leave-in conditioner, your hair would benefit from mixing both a dedicated smoothing lotion paired with your anti-frizz serum. These are going to work to tame your hair, covering all bases. Relying on just one single product can be setting yourself up for a hair letdown. So pairing products together is the perfect habit and step to take your style and hair to the next level. Little disclaimer, this is not your 5-minute kind of blow dry. This is the mother of all blow dries, reserved for date nights, girls' night out, and those all eyes on me moments. This micro habit is one of my most important external ones that I follow because I do feel my best self when my hair looks good. So this is a habit that I swear by, so my weekend hair is ready to shine and get all the compliments. And while I am on the topic of compliments, I would love for you to share what is the best compliment that you have ever received, whether it was on your appearance or how beautiful you are on the inside. Brag on yourself for a second and share with us what it is that people love about you. So for your power blow dry, there are 3 important steps that need to be followed to ensure you get the perfect weekend hair. And these steps you follow after you have applied your styling products from habit 1. So step 1 is to make sure you pick the right brush. This will be based on the look you're going for. So typically, the larger the brush size, the smoother and sleeker your hair will be. There's going to be less bend through the ends of your hair when you use a large round brush. So think like more smooth and sleek styles. The smaller the brush, the more volume and bend you're gonna get. So if you have layers that you wanna show off and have lots of movement and texture through your hair, a smaller round brush is going to do the trick. You're going to want to take your time and work with appropriate size sections. This will give you ultimate control to create that shape that you want, as well as allowing the heat to just work through your hair evenly. That's going to lead to a longer lasting style. And for your final step, don't rush it. You would not bake a cake at 900 degrees and expect it to turn out cute, right? Same concept goes for your hair. Set aside enough time to style your hair for a blowout that actually lasts. And again, this is meant to be your special occasion blow dry, not one that you are implementing every single wash day. And if you need an in-depth tutorial on how to nail the perfect blowout, I'll link some videos for you in the description and pinned comment below that are packed with my best tips and tricks, breaking it down for you step by step. You already probably know about silk pillowcases, and they are great for your hair. But if you want next level longevity for your blowout, this micro habit takes it up a notch. With your power blow dry hair, using a long silk bonnet is a total game changer. It's like a seatbelt for your hairstyle. It keeps your hair snug and secure way better than just a hair tie, and it helps upkeep that power blow dry that you work so hard on while you sleep. So what you'll want to do is you're going to tip your head upside down and put your hair into a ponytail with a silk scrunchie. Then you will place the bonnet onto your head, and while your head is still tipped upside down, you will then lightly twist the bonnet. You're going to come back up and tuck it into place gently around your forehead or hairline. I kid you not, when I do this, my blowout lasts me for days through the weekend. My hair looks good. It is definitely worth a try. So even with all the best prep and precautions, sometimes your hair is still giving yesterday's leftovers, right? So this is where reshaping comes to the rescue. So don't be afraid to use some heat on your hair on day 2 or 3. You want to make sure that you work in proper sections for maximum control, and be sure to use a heat protectant. The Shield by Amika gives you both heat protection and frizz control, so it is great for second or third day touch-ups should your hair not be cooperating. If you want to reignite your volume and bouncy layers, using a heated round brush is the perfect tool for the job. You will want your heat setting to be anywhere between 320 degrees to 370, depending on your hair type, and heated round brushes like this are a simple, easy tool and one of my favorites to use on myself for when I need to just like kick it up a notch. If you need to smooth out any sections to keep your style sleek and flawless, a heated flat brush or flat iron will do the trick. Low heat with smooth, slow passes will remove any creases or frizz that may be trying to form. Reshaping your hair is like reheating your leftovers. All you need is just a little touch up and boom, your hair is looking fresh again. Back in the day, I really used to think that the amount of SPF in my makeup was all that I needed, and that is like saying, I eat healthy because you put some strawberries on your pancakes. SPF in makeup products is nowhere near enough protection, and as you can see from this clip, the lack of actual sunscreen shows in my face. My freckles were out on full display, which while I do like them, they are, however, in my case, a sign of too much sun exposure. Since then, I now wear actual sunscreen on a daily basis, and it is a whole different story. I feel like my skin does not have nearly the freckles that it used to. I highly recommend using a dedicated SPF on your face daily. My favorite picks are Supergoop, their unseen sunscreen. This gives sort of almost like a primer-like finish to the skin. I also enjoy the way TierTier sunscreen feels as well. These are both lightweight and they pair well with my makeup. Another one too that I like is Skin Aqua, which I do think is better for more drier skin. I find it to be a little bit more moisturizing than the other two. As I've gotten older, I realized that my makeup routine needed to glow down in order to glow up. Fine lines have started popping up a little bit around my eyes, and what used to work for me in my 20s was suddenly making me look older and a little dated. I didn't feel fresh. So I went ahead and I switched from full coverage to lighter coverage, and it's really been helpful for me. I just found that heavy concealers settled into any creases that I had, enhancing them. It just wasn't a good look. My favorite past concealers were no longer serving my skin in my mid to late 30s now as they once did, and I really realized that less is more for me as I have gotten older. I also realized I had complete blush blindness. You guys, look at these old clips. They are so embarrassing. My cheeks entered the room before I did, and I actually cannot believe that I walked around like this, let alone that I made a YouTube video about how to do your makeup. No one should have taken my advice when I looked like this. This video has since been removed from the platform. It was on my other channel I have. So anyways, the fix is to apply natural tones in soft layers, finding colors that match and enhance your skin tone, not that stick out like a sore thumb. So what you can do is you can take some blush onto your brush, tap off the excess powder, swirl it on your hand first, and then apply it to your cheeks to create a beautiful natural look. If you overdo it, don't panic. You can buff it out with some light powder and pretend it never happened. Abs and a toned body are great, but have you ever felt the mental boost from a solid workout? Getting your heart rate up daily has so many mental benefits, which become even more important as we age. It increases blood flow to your brain, which means better mental clarity. It also releases endorphins, which can equal to less stress, less anxiety, less depression, plus it helps you sleep better. I think I somewhat have amnesia when it comes to working out. I'll get in a solid routine, I will feel incredible, and then somehow just one day I get off my game and then I start feeling sad or extra tired, and I'm like, what is wrong with me? And then I remember, oh yeah, I got off my exercise routine. Moving my body actually makes me feel great. Why did I ever stop? Am I the only one who feels like this, or does it happen to you guys too? Because it drives me crazy. I'm like, I don't understand what's wrong with me. I'm not saying though that you have to become like a gym rat unless you want to, but working out as little as 20 minutes a day can make a drastic change in your life, and this can be something as simple as a 20-minute power walk. So get up, get moving. It really does make a big difference. While the sun is often seen as the bad guy who's aging your skin, let's not forget that it's also nature's free therapy session. 15 minutes of sun exposure can boost your serotonin levels, aka the happy chemical, improve focus, calm down your nervous system, and just enhance your mood altogether. As a Florida native, I could literally sunbathe for hours. I'm obsessed with the sun, but I have noticed that I actually do some of my best YouTube brainstorming when I take my laptop, get out in nature, and I get some work done. It is literally a breath of fresh air. Between 10 a.m. and 3 p.m. is the best time to kickstart vitamin D production, which helps your bones, blood cells, and immune system. The sun can be harsh though, so if you're going to be outside longer than 15 minutes, don't forget to apply sunscreen. Remember habit 5. So everyone knows that alcohol isn't good for you, but let me tell you, once I implemented this habit into my life, I noticed how much alcohol affected my body. I have always been a cocktail enthusiast. I enjoy a fun drink menu. I love a nightly glass or two of wine. But last year, I decided to take a little bit of a break from alcohol, and I just found so many benefits to it. My dry skin wasn't really dry anymore. It was way more hydrated. I felt less sluggish. I had a much more clear mind every day. I also lost weight without changing anything else, which is always an added perk. But overall, I just noticed how even one glass of wine completely changes the way that I feel in the morning versus when I'm not drinking. I still do now indulge in some cocktails from time to time, but nowhere like I used to. I realize though, I enjoy the feeling of something fun to drink, but that is where mocktails come into play. And it was funny how a little break made me realize I was actually more hooked on the habit of holding something in my hand than the actual feeling alcohol gives me. So this is a micro habit that I really am glad I have implemented into my life. Journaling and meditating are like deep breaths for your body, mind, and soul. They help clear out the mental clutter, shift perspective, and stop you from spiraling over things that won't matter in maybe a week. I used to only reach for my journal when I was upset, so it was basically an emotional dumping ground to keep me from bottling things up. And that did help, but now I try to more so map out my goals instead because motivation can be flaky. And also, though, to remind myself of what I'm grateful for. Starting or ending the day with something uplifting that feeds your mind, whether it is the Bible or a self-help book, it is like giving your brain a much needed reset button. Whether you're putting your goals on paper or just spending a quiet moment with your thoughts, these habits create space for self-reflection, growth, and that aha moment when you realize you're actually becoming the best version of yourself. These small intentional shifts add up to a happier, healthier, and more confident you. So start where you're at, pick one habit, and watch how the little things make the biggest difference. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Drop a heart emoji in the comments if you did, and I will leave you with this next video right here to check out. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.